folks, welcome to Sonofdel's live vlog on this Thursday, Thursday the 3rd of June. It's been a long time since I've done a vlog. I've got quite a bit to fit into today. Let me just put my teeth back in again. Since my last vlog, I've been away for a week down in Leicester, so there's a bit of footage from that. I've also got two TV series reviews, which I've watched from start to finish. How they are now. There's some more series coming, but from what I've watched anyway. I've also got two unboxings of my horror box subscription box book club thing, and a couple of book reviews as well. Other than that, just talking about what's been happening basically in my life. So coming up first, I've got the TV series reviews, and they are The Last of Us and Alice in Borderland. Now, while I was down in Leicester, my friend Sarah, who I've known for a long time, asked me if I wanted to watch a series called The Last of Us. And there's 2 seasons of it so far. They're working on a 3rd, I think. And I watched it from the start. Now, I like post-apocalyptic stuff and I like zombie things. Now, when you watch The Last of Us, obviously it's based on the game of The Last of Us. And it's a really, really good series. It's got enough shocks in it to sort of make you cringe. It's got the right mix of characters, some nice, some horrible, some who only look out for themselves, etc, etc. It stars a very good talented actress called Bella Ramsey and a guy called Pedro Pascal, and apparently his name at the moment is Mud in Hollywood, so I won't talk about him too much. But Bella Ramsey plays Ellie, and Ellie is basically a survivor of it's like a fungal infection that's spread across the world, and it turns people basically into these weird arse type plant creature horrible things that literally want to eat humans basically. It's a definite twist on the zombie genre, because it's not just people walking around going brains and doing the old bit where they just walk like that sort of thing. These are totally different, and as it goes on, they come across different types of mutations of this virus and what's caused it. What I like about it, like I say, is it's got a good storyline to it. It's a bit slow sometimes, but I think when you've got a series that you know is going to be on for quite a while, you want to build up with the characters. You want to find out who they are, you want the backstory, you want to know how they work, how they think. I like that in the series, so I really, really enjoyed it. Now, I thought I might get through season 1 while I was down at Sarah's, and I didn't. We got through both. We watched them both. And I would definitely give it an 8 out of 10. It's got, like I say, it's got really good story, it's got good characters, some shocking scenes of gay love, so be prepared. If you don't like that sort of thing, don't watch it, it's up to you. But in this day and age, if something like that offends you, then I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with you. That's my opinion anyway. But yes, it's called The Last of Us, and so far 2 seasons, and they're working on a 3rd, and I would give it 8 out of 10. Now, this second series is a Japanese series, and it's called Alice in Borderland. Now, people told me about this Squid Games, about how popular it is, what a fantastic programme it is, blah, blah, blah. And I'd never seen it. I've never watched it. Never watched an episode of it. I've seen the characters, but I've never watched an episode. Anyway, my friend Sarah recommended this Alice in Borderland. She said it was my sort of programme and I would enjoy it. And I really did. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And there's to be a 3rd series of this as well. Now, I only watched a couple of 3 episodes when I was down at Sarah's, because we were watching The Last of Us. So I've watched the rest literally since I've got back, and I've managed to clear both seasons. I've watched both seasons. It is that watchable. Now, the premise is there's 3 lads in Japan, and they basically, 1 minute they are surrounded by thousands and thousands of people because it's town centre, blah, blah, blah. The next thing, when they come out of this toilet cubicle where they've hidden because they think the police are after them, when they come out, everybody's disappeared. There's literally empty streets, empty cars, there's no sign anybody's ever been there, there's literally nothing. And it turns out that what they've got to do is they've got to play these games, and these games are not games like we play hide and seek and all this. They're basically games that we would play, but there's a twist to them. And what you basically got to do, you've got to do these games, and there's 4 sorts: diamonds, hearts, clubs and spades. Hearts is to do with emotion. There's always going to be something to do with somebody, whoever you're with. It's going to be a heartstring one, obviously. I think it's clubs that are durability, one's thinking and one's agility, or something like that anyway. And what they've basically got to do, they've got to do these games, and depending on the number of the suit, so say you had the 7 of clubs, that would tell you that this game is 7, the difficulty of it is 7, and it's a club game, which could be agility. I can't remember the order of them, but it's one of them anyway. And basically, you're lucky if you come out alive. Now, obviously, there's 3 of them, but as they go through the town, they realise there's more people. Not the population that there was, nowhere near. There's millions who've disappeared. And what the gist is, they've got to do these games, and if they do these games and win, then they get what's called an extended visa, which means they get to live a long time. If the visa runs out on the phone or on their life, a laser comes down and kills them straight away. No 2 ways about it. If your visa wears out, you are dead. It's as simple as that. And the gist of the story is there's a guy called Arisu, and there's a female, and I keep forgetting her name, and it's driving me nuts, but there's a female in it. Now, what it basically does, it gives you background on it, all the stories, and you meet some really cool characters in it. Really cool characters. It's rough in places, so be warned, it is rough in places. But I would give this 9 out of 10. Now, that's massive for me, because I don't normally give 9s, but I was absolutely hooked on this programme, and I cannot wait for season 3, which comes out in September of this year, and it's going to be on Netflix, and I cannot wait to see it, because I've done the first season deals with the cards ace to 10, the second season deals with the picture cards or face cards, Jack, Queen and King. Now the third season looks like it deals with the jokers, and trust me, it's not a joker as in somebody funny, it's not that. Anyway, they've got to try and figure out who's doing it, what's going on, where are all the other people. So it's very, very involving. You do get backstory on nearly every character, so you get to know about them, how they got to where they are, what they did in their previous lives before everybody disappeared. So yeah, I would definitely give it 9 out of 10, and it's called Alice in Borderland, and it's on Netflix. And if you can watch it and then let me know what you think of any of the 2 programmes, either The Last of Us or Alice in Borderland, if you've got any critiques on it, if you don't think it's this or this, just pop a line underneath and I'll talk about it in my next vlog. So yeah, I would give that one 9 out of 10. So that's The Last of Us 8 out of 10 and Alice in Borderland 9 out of 10. Well, since my last vlog, which has been over 2 months, believe it or not, quite a lot's been happening. I've been on holiday down in Leicester. We had a fantastic time. You'll see the videos to that at the end of my talk now. I'm going to put a bit of footage on from the day and a few photographs as well. We had a fantastic day while I was down there. We went to Bakewell Market. And the weird thing was, there was a lot of coincidences with my life with Deb. Obviously my late wife, and also places we'd been, because without knowing it, we actually stopped for a cup of coffee when we got to Bakewell, and we stopped in a place called the Gallery, and the Gallery was also the same name as the first cafe that me and my wife, well, she wasn't my wife then, she was just somebody I was meeting, first had a cup of coffee in. So that was a coincidence. And then as we went on, we found a lovely little pub for have a nice meal, and that was called the Peacock, and Peacock was Deb's mum's maiden name. So I felt like Deb was keeping a bit of an eye on me, to be honest with you. But we had a really lovely day. One thing they did say was, they said that the market was a 3-minute walk away from where they dropped us off. Now, it was only 3 minutes if you're Linford Christie, because literally it took us about 20 minutes. Now, yes, I know I walk slow because I've got a stick, and Mum walks slow because she's got a walker, but I can't see anybody getting to that market in 3 minutes. It was a fair walk. They had lots of nice stalls there. They had a few bric-a-brac stuff, you know, things like kitchen utensils with like pictures of dogs on them, all different breeds of dogs. They had something which Sarah managed to pick up, which was cannolis, and I've never had cannolis before. I've seen them because I watch a lot of gangster films, Italian films, and they're always going on about cannolis. And I tried one for the first time. Yes, I think they're all right, don't get me wrong, but they're not something I'd go out of my way to have. I think they're an acquired taste. If you like the ricotta cheese thing, then you'll be well in your element. But to me, I still prefer things like my cheesecake and my pecan plats and stuff like that. I know I'm boring, what can I say? But it was nice to try, and I can actually say now that I've tried a cannoli. Now, one of the things when I was going there, I was there all week, and this was the Monday, so I still had 5 days, and I said to myself, when I go to Bakewell, I'm going to pick up a nice family-size apple pie, because I just fancied apple pie and custard. Could I find one? Nope, I could not. Bakewell tarts galore, hundreds of them. Could I find an apple pie that was a family size, so me, mum and sis could actually have any? No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. It ended up being the Friday morning when we went shopping that I managed to pick up one from Morrison's. But I'd been waiting all week for my piece of apple pie, and finally it came. Finally managed to pick it up and get one. But yeah, I had a fantastic week down there. The weather was quite nice, to be honest with you, and most nights it was absolutely boiling. I mean, I'm talking, I think there was only one night out of 7 where I actually slept under the quilt. Every other time it was just sleeping on top of the bedclothes. It was that warm. How my sis copes with that, I don't know. Her asthma must be an absolute nightmare. But luckily she's got fans in the living room and she does stay cool. But I can't imagine what that's like when you've had 30-degree temperatures and, oh, no. Not for me, I'm afraid. Yeah, so like I say, we watched a lot of TV. I watched a lot of wrestling with her as well. We watched a fair bit of wrestling. And the week went so fast, it was ridiculous. 1 minute I was arriving on the Saturday dinner time, and the next thing, my brother-in-law was picking me up on the Saturday dinner time the following week. And I think when you go somewhere, if you're really having a good time, it flies. You know, if you're not, it can drag on a little bit. You can be sort of like, you know, can't wait to get home sort of thing. But I didn't really want to come home. The thing was that I was quite happy staying down there, and mum and me sis had already said that I could stay down there as long as I wanted. The only problem I had was I had phone appointments with the social, and one thing you don't do is miss them, because they'll stop your benefits and all sorts. And that's something else I'm going to get onto now. Oh, I have had a nightmare. Listen, I know that people who are on ESA and housing benefits are being switched over to universal credit. And I got a message, well, I got a letter to say that I was being switched over, which is fair enough because everybody was. And I had to get literally a new tenancy agreement signed. I had to get a copy of every statement I could possibly get for gas, water, electricity, my ESA claim, my housing benefit claim, and I got it all together, and I got it all, and I photographed it, and I put it all up, and I went onto my Universal Credit account, and I uploaded it all. Brilliant. Everything went through fantastic. I even had the follow-up phone call, and that went great. Then 2 days ago, I got a message off them to tell me that because I was on contribution-based support ESA, I wasn't going to be switched over to Universal Credit. I was going on to the new style ESA. And I am totally confused, because I know people who were on exactly the same as me, and they're being switched to Universal Credit. So I don't understand why I'm being switched to new style ESA, whatever that means. Obviously I'll find out, because I've got a phone appointment on the 25th of this month. So I'll know more then, and in my next vlog I'll be able to tell you what the hell's going on, because at the moment I don't know how much I'm getting, who I'm getting it from, and when I'm getting it. So I'm in a bit of a quandary, really. I don't know what's going on with my money. I don't know. I'd rather know, because then I can like plot what I've got to pay out each month, and at the moment I don't even know what I'm getting off who, so I can't plan anything. All I can do is literally just keep paying everything that I normally pay and hope the money goes in. So yeah, that's been a bit of a nightmare. Health-wise, I've not been too bad. I've had a lot of problem with the base of my spine again, but again, CMT I think and all that. It was weird when I was down at my sis's, because for the first time in a year, I was actually sleeping on a bed. And in case you're thinking what you're on about, it's because I sleep on the sofa. I sleep on my sofa. I started doing that after Deb had passed away, and I've got that used to it now that I do. I just literally, last thing at night, I will just literally pull the blanket over me and go sleep. And sleep on the sofa. I'll probably get back to doing bed, you know, getting in a bed. But at the moment, I'm happy enough just rolling around on my sofa and going to sleep, you know, that kind of thing. What else have I been up to? I've been reading, like I say, I've been reading. I'm reading one at the moment called, what's it called? Wake Up and Open Your Eyes, I think it's called. And it's a very, very strange book, which I will do a review for next time I speak to you, because it's very bizarre. And it's quite worrying, actually, because it could come true. So it's one of them. Coming up now, I have got all the footage from my time in Bakewell, which are quite a few pictures and a couple of little videos as well. And then after that, I've got my Jigsaw gallery, which has got about 4 or 5 jigsaws on it, because I've been going jigsaw mad this week. And then 2 unboxings of my horror book subscription box for June and May, I think. May and June? May and June. June and July. June and July. June and July. Anyway, you all enjoy this. Well, something's a bit different this time. I'm actually sitting in a place called the Gallery Cafe in Bakewell. I'm on holiday. I'm down in Leicestershire for a week. I'm spending a lovely week with my bestie Sarah and the mum Janet. We're having a great time. Been watching TV. We haven't been out a lot, but today we have. We've had a lovely day trip to Bakewell. We've started looking around the market. I bought some marinades and sauces because I like all that sort of stuff. I can't cook for anything, but I like the sauces that go with it. The one thing I will say about Bakewell is we have seen more dogs than I think I've seen for the last year. I have never seen so many dogs in my life. It is literally every other person who comes past you's got a dog. The market isn't bad. The day is lovely. It's about 18 degrees probably, and we're having a really, really good time. I don't think we've got anything planned for tomorrow. I have been watching a couple of Netflix series, which one I've been wanting to watch and one I'd never heard of. And I've started watching 2 series with Sarah. The first one's called The Last of Us. I'm really enjoying that because I've played a little bit of the computer game, but not much. And the second one is called Alice in Borderland, and it is, if you like Squid Games, which I've never watched, you watch this. Well, I like all the Japanese, South Korean, Asian stuff. I love all that sort of stuff. I've got loads of Japanese horror films, as I've told you before, and it's a really fantastic series. Everything's going great with it. It's not one for the faint-hearted. It's a bit rough in places, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I hope to do a bit more footage later in the week. But this is it for my vlog for today, and here it is from Bakewell. To have lunch. Really nice place, very good ambience and everything. Sarah and Mum are here. You can hear Sarah in the background there. I have to make sure she behaves when she comes out. She's not used to this. See that cough there? See that literally tells you what you need to know.
That's cold.
But yeah, we're having a really, really good time. The weather's holding out at the moment, and we've had a good walk around and bought a bit of stuff. Each of us, everybody's bought something at the moment. So yeah, just about to have lunch, and then it's another walk around the rest of the market, and then amble back towards the coach. We're not allowed to say bus, we've got to call it a coach, aren't we, folks?
Probably go for it.
Yeah, got to. Here we go. One horror book subscription box. This is May's. As usual, I've got me bag of goodies. I won't go through them all because you know what they are basically. A couple of herbal teas, coffee, chocolate, all sorts. Basically all drinks, Second thing is a pack of popcorn reinvented, salted caramel, maize and grace popcorn. I don't really eat popcorn, but I know somebody who does. So there's that, which is a nice bit of popcorn. Oh, I'm going to need me scissors, my trusty scissors, because I've got my second-hand book. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what second-hand book I've got, shall we? I like the second-hand book thing because too many people read books and then they just literally stack them and you never see the light of day again. This one is called The Girl Before and it's by J.P. Delaney. Everything That's Yours Was Once Hers. Ooh, very nice. Oh, I've actually seen this as a TV series. I didn't realise it was that. Yeah, I have. I've seen it as a TV series. It was done on BBC. The Girl Before. I've just been reading the back of it and it says Jane stumbles on the rental opportunity of a lifetime, but when she discovers the previous tenant met a mysterious death there. Yeah, so I can't believe that. The Girl Before. Me and Deb watched that. That was one of the ones we watched a couple of years ago. That's the second-hand book. The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. My main book is called Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. Oh, it's one of them. It's one of my sprayed edge jobs. And it says, harrowing, agonising, nuanced and downright philosophical. Beautiful, terrifying, sad, funny and grotesque. Everything I want in a novel. And it's Stephen Graham Jones and it's called Buffalo Hunter. I like the cover. Is it one of those? Yeah, it says Buffalo. It's got like pictures inside it. And it's signed as well. It's signed by the author, Stephen Graham Jones. That's the third thing. Book. I've got a bizarre picture. Look at that. Oh, sorry. Got a ghost sunbathing on the beach. No idea. And that's a proper picture. That's another thing. And then the usuals, which is Sean Hudson Fan Club. I like Sean Hudson, he's written some fantastic books. These are just a few of them actually. Slugs, Assassin, Breeding Ground, The Skull, Death Day, Spawn, Victims, Erebus. I've read every one of them, believe it or not. And then the other thing is the Abominable Book Club bookmark, which has got all the bump in for the book. And that is, hang on, yeah, so we've got the card, we've got the sprayed edge book, Stephen Graham Jones, Hunter. Second hand book, The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. Some popcorn, some caramel popcorn, and me bag of drinks. And that is what is in June's horror box subscription. Horror book subscription box. I never get that right. That wasn't a bad box, was it, for June? Now this is July's box. Once again, my little bag. Let's see if there's anything different in it this time, but I doubt it. Now, coffee bag, chocolate, a couple of tea bags, them and me drinks. I do like my pin badges. This one is from Abracadabra again, and this is so cute. It must be a ghostwriter. No? Okay, fair enough. I thought it was funny. Yeah, ghost. Look. Pin badge. That'll go in my case, which is really impressive now. It's got a fair few badges in it. I've also got some, I always have some treats. What have I got? Candy Kittens, Sour Watermelon, Gourmet Sweets of London. Deb used to love these because they're vegan. She used to absolutely love them. Oh, I can do that. Candy Kittens. Very popular they are, and they're bloody expensive and all. So that's Candy Kittens. Second-hand book. Let's see what we get this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wee. La da da da. La da da da. Tell you what, I absolutely love this book club. I'll tell you now. But it's nice because it's not a massive sort of worldwide gigantic book club, you know. Oh, I haven't read this for years. Dean Koontz, brilliant author. If you've never read any of his books, you're missing out. He's written some absolute crackers. I was actually reading one called The Silent Corner, and I've still got to carry on reading it. It's on my Kindle. But there you go, Dean Koontz, The Eyes of Darkness. I've actually read that, but not in that version. I read it years and years ago as a hardback book. Part of a thing that used to be out called the Mystery and Thriller Guild. And used to be able to pick up, it used to be on the back of Sunday magazine, and used to be able to pick up 5 horror books for 25 pence each when you first subscribed. And if I'm not mistaken, I had The Dark Half, Tommy Knocker's Needful Things, Clive Barker's Cabal, and a Dean Koontz one, and I think it might have been, it was either The Eyes of Darkness or The Bad Place. So that's my second-hand book. Dean Koontz, classic #1 bestseller, The Eyes of Darkness. Excuse me. Right, we've got, these are the brand new books. This one is by Pemi Aguda, and it's called Ghost Roots. Ooh, nice. It says the eerie and the everyday are perfectly aligned in these 12 stories in the hustle and bustle of Lagos in Nigeria. So we've got a Nigerian short story collection. I hope it was better than the South American one, because that one did my head in. I couldn't get my head around it. Now this, I love the cover to this. This one's by Nat Cassidy, and it's called When the Wolf Comes Home. Look at that for a cool cover. And it's one of those as well where, look, can you see it shining? The wolf at the top. What does it say? It says, the kind of great big epic horror novel we got back in the 80s that came out swinging for the fences and left everything on the field. So that'll be a good, nice and thick that one is as well. And that's called When the Wolf Comes Home, and it's by Nat Cassidy. Now, also within this, I've got Assigned When the Nat Comes Cassidy. When the Nat Comes Cassidy? What am I talking about? When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. I don't know what the heck that was. Assigned bookplate. Also got Secret Lives of the Dead. New York bestseller, Tim Lebon. I don't know the book, but I like the bookmark. The bookmark's well cool. Look at that. Apparently he's written quite a few. I'll have to look him out. Never heard of him, but there you go. Now the bookmark. Oh, I like that. Now you see me. Now you don't. Look at that. I'm putting it forward. Now you see me. And all that's left is blood. Oh dear. That's not good, is it? That's a good bookmark. And obviously my Abominable book club subscription one, where again you get the QR code there, you scan that, and then that will tell you everything that's in the box. I can't recommend this box highly enough. It's the Abominable Book Club horror book subscription, and if you like horror, you've got to get this book club. You've got to get this box. It's so much worth the money. It is so much worth the money. It is the best one I have come across for my genre, because I like horror, so it's my genre completely. But yeah, so we've got the bookmarks, including that one, which I think is hilarious. A recommendation for Tim Lebon. A signed book plate for When the Wolf Comes Home. Yeah, it's a sticker, cool. And obviously When the Wolf Comes Home. Yeah. We've got Ghost Roots, which is a set of short stories set in Lagos in Nigeria, is it? Yeah, Nigeria. And that's by Pemi Aguda. I don't know that one. And we've got a second-hand book of Dean Koontz, The Eyes of Darkness. we've got some candy kittens, sour watermelon, a cool pin badge, and my usual drinks. And that's what's in my horror book subscription box for July 2025. Now I've got a couple of book reviews for you. Now I've read quite a lot since I last spoke to you, and a couple of the books I've read one was called, I'm not sure if I've done this one in a previous vlog, so if I have, I do apologise. It's called Red Rabbit, and it's a Western horror. Now when I say Western, I mean like cowboys and Indians back in the day when, you know, the only guns they had were rifles and pistols and stuff. It's not a bad read. It's a bit long-winded, and it's, you know, some of it's a bit, yeah, not really what I'd class as a horror, except the fact there's witches in it, and sometimes, you know, people get like possessed and stuff. But it's good, it's all right. I'd give it 6 out of 10 if I was pushing it. I can't remember what I gave it in my previous vlog, actually. I might have upgraded it, but yeah, I'll give it 6 out of 10, and it's called Red Rabbit, and it's by Alex Grecian, and I've never heard of it. Now this one, I hate to say this, but I'm actually going to give this one a low rating, and it's called 19 Claws and a Blackbird, and it's by Agustina Bazterrica. I can only just about say the name. Agustina Bazterrica. Now, I like short stories because I write them myself, and some short stories I think they've got to have a bit of pull to them. They've got to have something that makes you go, yes, that was clever. Some of the stories in this are just downright mad. I can't figure out where they're coming from, or where the writer's imagination was going. I would only say there's probably 2, maybe 3 stories in that book that I thought were were really good. And I'd only give it 4 out of 10. I don't think it's that good. I really don't. I wouldn't recommend it. And it's the first book I've had out of me book clubs where I've not really give it a 6 or 7 or an 8. So it's only 4 out of 10. It just doesn't have any kick for me. I couldn't wait to finish it, to be honest. I was trying to read it as fast as I could because I just thought the stories were just, I don't know, I just didn't like them. I didn't like them. A couple of them were okay, but nothing major. And I'd give it 4 out of 10. And that's 19 Claws and a Blackbird by, I've got to say her name again now, Agustina Bazterrica. Now, I woke up this morning and I weren't in too bad a mood, and I thought to myself, you know, everything's going okay. I went on my phone as I usually do, decided to do a little bit of playing on my game for half an hour, which I tend to do to give my fingers a bit of dexterity. And then all of a sudden, just on my screen, popped up a headline that literally made me look at my phone twice because I could not believe it. I'm a Liverpool fan, I've been all my life, and I've never stopped following Liverpool. And we have a footballer called Diogo Jota. I think I might have mentioned him before, one of my favourites. He usually comes on and scores, literally, that's what kind of player he is. And he's Portuguese, and it announced that he had died. He had died in a car crash in Spain, and he was only 28. Now what makes this even more heartbreaking is that a couple of weeks ago he got married, and he's got 3 young kids as well. And he died in a car crash with his brother. And I was like, wow, you know, it knocked me for 6. And I informed a couple of people who were also Liverpool fans who hadn't heard, and they were absolutely stunned. They were shocked to bits. Now, yes, I know people might say, yeah, but thousands of people die every day, blah, 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 blah. But it's still a life. It's still something that you weren't expecting. I mean, it's just incredible that life really is that short. It can hang on the edge of a thread, and all it takes is one snip and bump, you're gone, you're down. There's nothing you can do about it. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, when he got up that morning, he wouldn't have known that was going to happen. Of course he wouldn't. And his family probably saw him off and thought, yeah, he'll be back in a couple of hours, you know, new wife and all that, new family. And no, not happening. And I was just a bit, I don't know, I was just a bit stunned, to be honest. I was sort of thinking, wow, that's just changed the way the day's going. Because if you are a fan, you know, if you are a fan of football, or you're a fan of anything really, and a star dies, unless they're like 97 or something, in which case it's, you know, not expected, but you're not too shocked. But he was 28. He was 28. He's still got at least another, what, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe years of football in him. And he, like I say, just married 2 weeks ago. I mean, I know how gutted I was when my wife passed away, and that was after nearly 10 years married and 23 years together. But at least we'd spent that time, you know, we'd spent that time as a married couple. We got those memories and stuff. And him literally just starting out in married life, and that's it, job done. You get 2 weeks, and so yeah, it was a bit of a shock. Yeah, so my advice to you would be literally enjoy your life while you've got a chance, because nobody knows what's around the corner. Nobody knows that more than me. This is recorded, I'm recording this the day after Diogo Jota's passing away, and I was quite horrified this morning when I went on my Facebook to see that the paparazzi, which I can't stand anyway, managed to get pictures of his wife being led to the car by relatives who were holding her up, so she had to, because she had to go and identify the body, and they couldn't even leave her alone in her grief. They even had to take pictures of her looking fragile and everything, because obviously, let's be honest, she'd just been told a husband, recent husband, 10 days husband and father of her children, has been killed in an automobile accident, and the paparazzi still can't leave them alone. They're still taking pictures. But I mean, I just think it's sick. I think it's really, really sick. You leave her alone. Leave her alone. She's got grief to deal with, and it's going to take a bloody long time. And it doesn't help with the papers in her face all the time. I just think it's horrendous. I really do. I know for a fact that if I'd have been famous when my wife passed away and somebody that took photographs and I found out about it, I'd have gone ballistic, because grief is a personal thing, and to only find out and then be literally going after to identify the body must have been horrendous. It must have been something that I can't comprehend, and I've been through some crap, but I couldn't comprehend that. That must have been absolutely devastating for the poor woman. I bet in her heart of hearts she was praying that it wasn't him. She was literally, you know, oh, it must be somebody else, it must be somebody else, it can't be my husband, I've only just married him, sort of thing. But life is so fragile, it really is. It's like hanging by a thread, and it just takes one little snip and it's over. So if you get a chance to do something, do it, providing it's this side of the law, if you can make it like that. Don't put off stuff. Don't say you're going to do it next year, the year after, because let's be honest, tomorrow isn't promised, so next year definitely isn't. I'm not one for making big plans, I really aren't. Somebody said to me the other day, what am I doing on my birthday, which is obviously the 18th of this month, and I just said, well, I'm waking up, and I haven't got any further than that. I'm hoping to wake up, should I say, and I'm not getting any further than that, because I'm not making plans. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. I've got one real plan in motion at the moment, and that's a holiday to Cornwall in September, and the only reason that is because it had to be booked in advance. So, you know, you don't just think on the day, oh, I think I'll go Cornwall, especially where I live, which is about, I think it's about, what, 700 miles or something like that. I can't remember exactly how far it is, but it's a fair distance, let's put it that way, from here to Cornwall. I'm up on the northwest coast in Blackpool, and obviously Cornwall is right the way down south, so it's a fair distance. Yeah, so when I next speak to you, I should have aged, because I don't think I'll be doing another vlog for a couple of weeks. I'm hoping you've enjoyed the footage and everything. I know it had to end on a bit of a somber note with Diogo Jota passing away, bless him, and his brother Andre Silva. And I've just found, well, I found out yesterday that they're actually retiring his number, which was number 20. Jota played number 20 for Liverpool, and we signed him in 2020 from Wolves. When he came in, he's just been a brilliant player. He's one of those players that was very easy to get on with, according to all the people in the dressing room. He was a nice character. He was very friendly. He was never in the, you know, never in any bad stuff at all. He just played football because that's what he loved. And unfortunately, like I said, that's how I've had to end my vlog. So I hope you've enjoyed the vlog, other than obviously the sad stuff. You all take care, and just remember, life is for living, so live it while you get the chance. I'll do another vlog soon. Bye for now.